brothers and sisters, our next speakers are two young women who, the night after the referendum defeat, when depression had set in, I think became symbolic for all of us who still had hope in our hearts, because two young women stood in Freedom Square holding the St Andrews flag high, and they defied the bigots, the racists, the unionists. And I said to my wife Gail, as I watched it on the television, I said, those bigots, those racists, those unionists, they represent the past. Sarah and Sophie Johnston represent the future. Let's hear it for Sarah and Sophie.
Well, hello everyone. I'd just like to start by saying a massive thank you to everyone who signed our petition created by Mark Barnes. The charges have now been dropped. Wow, just standing here right now, it speaks volumes of positivity, a complete parallel to what we witnessed on the 19th of September. I can still remember turning on the Russian TV channel to see a few Yes supporters standing in Freedom Square, surrounded by a handful of police. It was then I just turned to Sophie and we looked at each other and we knew that we had to go and stand with them. We had to go and show them that we still supported an independent Scotland. By the time we arrived at the square, the scene had completely changed. Unionists were verbally and physically abusing the remaining Yes supporters in the square. We had just as much right to be there as they did. We were arrested on the 19th of September because we failed to let the unionists intimidate us out of the square. And you know what? We have another chance to stand up to these unionist parties yet again this coming May the 7th general election. We will not be bullied into voting for the status quo. By getting as many SNP MPs into Westminster as possible, Scotland's voice will be heard, loud and clear. I don't know how many of you know what happened that night, but Sarah and I were proudly wearing our solitaires in amongst the unionist riots. We did not retaliate to the violent threats, the verbal abuse, and anything that was thrown at us. Some of you may have seen scenes of the unionists taking my flag from me. But what you might not have seen is my sister somehow managing to grab it back. This general election, we have another chance to grab back what has been denied to us by every single Labour and Tory government. We have the chance to grab back that power for Scotland and make change. As a 17-year-old member of the Scottish Greens, I did not hesitate to implore you to vote SNP. Westminster refuses to give me back my vote. Please use yours.
Applause brothers and sisters, let's hear it for two very courageous and brave women representing the future of Scotland, Sarah and Sophie Johnston. For those of you with cameras, those of you with phones, I want you to get them at the ready. Sarah and Sophie are going to replicate a picture that became iconic for the resistance and for the freedom movement. They're going to hold up the St Andrews flag again. So those of you that want to take a picture, get ready.
Can you sit down?
Sophie! Scottish Resistance has donated 2 t-shirts to Sarah and Sophie. Hope Over Fear has donated 2 t-shirts to Sarah and Sophie. We are proud of you. Thanks very much, sisters.